saying a champion is the best in their class when they've only been out for like what 3 months is honestly such a bold statement, right? But with Onslaught, I think that is just completely valid because I have never seen a champion just dominate their class so quickly. Onslaught is very new, like I said, and the things he has done in those 3 months is insane. He just works for literally everything, and he is one of the most must-have characters in like pretty much every single game mode. Now, Onslaught is a very unique character, right? Because the Mutant class had a lot of issues before his release, and the issue was they were kind of just all the same character. Prowess, Purify Punishment, slap on like some other unique stuff, throw them out, right? That's it. Like they were just all prowess characters, and that's why like Nimrod, any prowess removal champion just smoked them, right? And like that's why the Mutant class was just so dead for such a long time, because it was just a very repetitive class. But Onslaught just brought so many new things to the table. And yeah, here are my Ascension options. I think it has to be Onslaught. Like, you know, there is Kingpin, there is some pretty cool champions there too, like Hercules, Cosmic Ghost Rider, but yeah, Onslaught, he is just such an impactful character that I feel like he should be a priority for your Ascensions. Now, of course, he is a 7-star character, right? So if you pull him as a 7-star, of course prioritize him over the 6-star, but he's still very new. He's like just barely in the Titan Crystals. So yeah, I think he is a pretty worthy Ascension for sure. And tier is max Sig. So now we have a rank 5 Ascended Sig 200 Onslaught. What a thing of beauty. And you know what? I'll just say it. He is adorable. Like, he's so jumbo sized, and it's insane. Like, I know he's supposed to be menacing, but how am I supposed to be scared of this champion when he looks like that? I had to say it because I know everyone was thinking it. Well, probably not, but like it's just the truth, you know. But anyways, I know I had to say it, like, because it's just so true, right? But yeah, he's a very like scary character in the comics, I believe. Like, he is a very bad guy, which, you know, makes sense. He does have that like menacing look. It's just he also looks very adorable. But anyway, yeah, this champion, very easy to play. Just drop the SP1, and then once you do that, you get like a ton of Narrow Shocks. Then you drop the SP2, you do this much damage, and the fight is pretty much over afterwards. It is crazy stuff. That was like, what, 50 seconds or something? Yeah, like, for most fights, it's SP1, SP2, SP1, and then the fight is just done. He is a very fast champion, and he's very consistent as well, and that's why I think he is the best Mutant champion, right? Because consistency is so valuable, and I feel like Onslaught is just one of the most consistent characters in the game. Now, of course, there are like, you know, some crazy good attackers like Archangel too, right? But with Archangel, he is very inconsistent. And now, you know, Domino, also a pretty good contender for the best Mutant champion, but with Domino, on attack, she is just very inconsistent, but like on defense, of course, she is doing crazy things. But honestly, so is Onslaught, right? Because Onslaught is still very new. He still does a ton of damage to you just by existing, and like that's why he has such good value on defense as well. Plus, if you miss a SP1 dex, you are just like done for completely. That's why I think he is the best Mutant champion in the game, because the things he offers on like attack and defense, it is just so valuable. But yeah, here I dropped the SP2, and look at this damage output. 29,000 damage per tick right there. It is unreal stuff, and this matchup is essentially over. So I dropped the heavy attack, and yeah, he's gonna just play passive, but it's whatever because I dropped the SP1 and the fight is over. It's so satisfying playing this champion because, one, the animations are beautiful, right? Like, the SP1, it takes forever, but like it's still so nice to see. And like this character just feels so powerful when you play him. And you know, it's because of his size, it's because of his like very long animations, but he just feels like a perfectly designed character, like both art-wise and just kit-wise. Now, here we have this Kraven fight, and yeah, this Kraven is honestly really annoying, but Onslaught does pretty good against him. There I drop the heavy attack, go back in, and then yeah, I'm gonna drop the SP1 in a second here to build up some Nero Shocks. And yeah, like I was saying before, this champion pretty much saved the mutant class. Like back in 2020, Apocalypse did that with, you know, his crazy kit. And by the way, Apocalypse still super overpowered, right? But like Onslaught is just doing that, but in 2024, because he is bringing completely new stuff to the table, and he is doing things that pretty much no other mutant champion has. For example, Daunted. No one else has that. It's only Onslaught. Like, that is just insane stuff, because Prowess is so outdated because there are so many counters to Prowess now, but Daunted, no one counters that. But yeah, like Onslaught, he's saving the mutant class by just being super unique and doing things for the first time ever. Apocalypse saved it by, you know, just being super overpowered as well, and, you know, the Horseman ability. But yeah, both of these champions just saved the mutant class in their eras, and right now we're just in the era of Onslaught. But yeah, now we have this Dr. Doom fight, and he is pretty good for it. The thing with Onslaught is that he is just good for most fights, because his rotation is super easy, his damage output, which by the way, another reason why he's so good is his damage output is pretty much unavoidable. There are literally 0 champions immune to Nero Shock, and very few champions that are immune to degen or like have resistance to it. So that's why he's like really good, right? Because his damage source, you just can't really stop it right now. There might be some future champions that are like Nero Shock immune, but as it stands right now, no one counters this, and it's proven to be very valuable both on attack and Battlegrounds defense too, because yeah, if no one's immune to it, they are guaranteed taking damage, and that just wins you so many rounds. That's why Onslaught is just so valuable. And you know, the best mutant champion, like that title belonged to many characters before, like Apocalypse at one point, then Kitty Pryde, and then, you know, once Kitty Pryde kind of like fell off, there was pretty much no one to hold the title. Like maybe Archangel, maybe Domino, because of their value in Battlegrounds, but besides that, there was just this like empty space where there needed to be a new best mutant character. And when Onslaught came out and he proved himself, that's when it was just way too easy to determine that he was the best mutant champion in the game. But yeah, there's Gauntlet Doom. I did a ton of like Gauntlet fights when recording like footage for this video, but I'm gonna save some of them for the big showcase. This is just like the introduction to Onslaught, because yeah, this man, he does a lot of things, and you know, it's gonna be a long showcase because it's Onslaught, right? He covers so many pieces of content. But yeah, this is just like a teaser of what he can do, which, spoiler alert, he does a ton of things, which is, you know, expected. But yeah, here we have Gauntlet Weapon X, and you know, this fight is pretty tough at times because of the regen, but Onslaught being DOT kind of just bypasses it, and yeah, that's why DOT is just so valuable still. And yeah, man, he's just doing Onslaught things. Easy to play, has very good damage output, and he's also just Onslaught, right? Like, this champion has, I think he's like one of the most powerful characters lore-wise, and you know, there has always been this debate on like, does Kabam do justice to the very powerful Marvel characters? Because, you know, there's Sentry that got dumpstered on, there's Doctor Strange that got dumpstered on as well. He even got nerfed because, yeah, that's just unfortunate. But yeah, like, powerful characters in MCOC, like, that are powerful in the comics at least, it has just been a very mixed bag, right? But for Onslaught, they did him so much justice. The design, amazing. He is like the best mutant champion, so yeah, he is very powerful. He is just covering everything. And here we have Gauntlet Thing, and like, this matchup just shows that this man pretty much just does everything. Like, taking Gauntlet Thing, taking like Weapon X before, he also took Spider Ham, which I didn't show in this video, but I'll show later. He also took Gauntlet Korg. He just takes so many fights. and they're all consistent, right? Because his rotation is just super standard. But yeah, this matchup is pretty annoying. Like, Thing has Oscillate, which is such a fun node. I'm kidding, of course, it's terrible. I just cannot stand it. But yeah, we go back in and we drop the SP2 and it does some pretty good damage. Look at this, he is just melting at this point. And yeah, here he drops a heavy attack, so I drop mine. There he drops the SP2 again. And yeah, we go back, get the pause up yet again. And so far so good. He's playing passive because of course he is. It's Oscillate, worst node ever. I cannot stand this node. But yeah, we go back in, we drop the relic into the heavy attack yet again, and then he drops the SP1, and this matchup is essentially over now because yeah, the SP1's gonna finish him off big time. So that was very, very clean. Just proof that this man takes everything essentially. And like for mutant lanes, he's still very good for them. You know, most mutant lanes, they favor like prowess and all that, but Onslaught, he just doesn't care. He still does the fights really well, and he does them very fast too. Like honestly, he does it faster than some prowess characters, and that should like show a lot, right? It just shows a lot to like his power level. And yeah, we go back in, drop the SP1, so this matchup is now under control, and so far so good. He's gonna drop the SP2, no big deal. And also, Onslaught's heavy range is just insane. Like, this man can reach like a whole different planet with this range. It is insane, and it also adds to like his practicality, right? Some champions have very bad heavy attack range, or like there is something in their kit that just makes them impractical, but Onslaught, there is just no impracticality. He just smokes it. Like right there, that was like what, 40 something seconds. Incredible stuff. And yeah, now we have this Kingpin fight, and you know, it's Kingpin, it's a Purify character. He's gonna wallop this guy. And yeah, against Purify champions, he is very, very powerful. But here's the thing, characters before Onslaught kind of needed the opponent to be like a Purify champion, right? To be like really good. Onslaught doesn't need that. It's a nice bonus for sure, but he doesn't need them to Purify because he just works for everything, like I said. So Purify, like no Purify, it doesn't matter. And by the way, right there, he had an unblockable special attack, and we just blocked it straight up because of his signature ability, which, you know, is also pretty insane, right? But yeah, like he does that as well. He blocks skill unblockable special attacks. He has access to just so many different things, non-contact hits, bleed, incinerate, and shock immunity. That's also just like wild. This man is just utility packed, right? He does so many different things, and he's just like immune to everything, counters everything. It's just crazy. Like, I can't believe this character is a real thing. But yeah, here we have this final fight, just a Red Hulk on this ebb and flow knockdown node, and it's pretty straightforward stuff. We drop the heavy attack, no big deal. Go for the SP1 after we get another heavy attack in, and yeah, the rotation, so hard to just like mess up, right? It's so hard to mess up because it's so simple to use. But yeah, it's time to just finish off the fight already. Like, once you drop the SP1, you know the fight's just over, because like, what can they do? They can't do anything because they're gonna get destroyed by the SP2, and it's gonna be so satisfying as well. But yeah, here we drop the relic into the heavy attack, into the SP2, and this damage output is just really, really good. And yeah, just one more SP1 should do it. So here he drops the heavy attack, I go in with mine, and yeah, essentially just over because I dropped the SP1 and that just does it. So yeah, a very clean fight there, a pretty complex one, but it didn't matter really. And yeah, there's a bit of a first look at my new Ascension Onslaught. I think he is easily the best mutant champion in the game, just so impactful, just does so many different things, and he's also just insanely fun to play. So he is the ultimate package. But let me know your thoughts on Onslaught. If you have him, are you enjoying him? And yeah, that's about it for me.